You.
Ooh.
What's up, bro?
Well,
Just chilling, seeing if Unc can play. Other than that, not much.
Jalen McCain passed Chase Ward on career stats passing yards. It looked like I cut that man career short like crazy. I shouldn't have cut his career short. The what if
Not even that.
conversation.
He went to a complete graveyard spot.
He did. What he throwing the ball this year though? Cause he not playing. Yeah. But yeah, he dropped. I don't know about catching Mahomes, but I probably would have been closer. 50,000, some shit like that. Let's take a look at it. At his career numbers yearly. His first year was 21. So he was a 4,000 yard thrower every year. 4,000, 4,000, 3,000, 4,000, 4,000, 3,000, 3,000, 2,000. And this was 5 games. He did that in. 7 games. Remember, I sat him in 2028 for Homeboy, for Ugalele. Or was it this year? Nah, this was the year I sat him, 29. And then, as he been a giant, he threw for 51 yards. One you see, 1674, and now he's throwing 2,527, and that's because it's the computer. So yeah, he got shut down. But Patrick Mahomes on top of the world with 64,306 306 yards thrown with one more full season left. 725 touchdowns career-wise. Chase Ward with 433. Jalen McCain 332. Lamar Jackson 315. Paul Henne 290. Rex 239. De'Aaron King in 5 short years, 232 passes touchdowns. That's big. That's really big for the quarterbacks remaining, because he's only been in the league for 5 years, and he's up there in top. I would say top 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Top 10.
62 touchdowns this year.
Who has 62 this year? De'Aaron King.
Mahomes, 62.
Yeah. Rushing, carry wise, Roger Craig, Bo Jackson, Lockley, Lamar Jackson is fourth on the list in carries, bro. That's big. Alright, so Lamar Jackson leads the current NFL as it stands in our league with 18,582 yards, 9.5 yards to carry. Roger Craig bounced up to 17,751 yards. He had a great career for the 49ers. Had a hell of a one season run with the Tennessee Titans, and he's a role player for the Cowboys right now, but he's still getting touches. Adric Lockley, the kid that has Super Bowl rings, multiple 1,000-yard seasons, but hasn't been spoken or talking about as a top player, meaning like a RDL Hall of Fame player at all. Maybe his name needs to start being discussed in that conversation. 13,843 yards and 9 seasons. Cliff Holiday resurrected himself this year with 2,000 plus rushing yards. He stepped up into that realm. Give me a second. I'll get my soda. I don't know if did you oh, you didn't do it yet? You didn't get me soda yet? Oh, where's the sodas? My bad, babe. When I'm done this real talk, I'll do the I'll vacuum the what's the name, the living room floor. In here. Thank you. Leave that up there. Oh, say can you? All right, so Cliff Holiday, 13,239 on a 9-year career. Bo Jackson, 13,075, 10 years. Will Falk, 12,000 and 12 years. Fred Teller, 8 years, 11,000. And Puka in 5 years, 11,356 yards. That's impressive for 5 years with Puka, especially with barely 1,000 carries, 1,900. He got 1,091 carries. That gives him an average 143.7 yards a game, an average rush of 10.4. I wonder. Yeah, I knew it would show those type of situations. Touchdowns, careers. Big Gator, what's up, big guy? You in the dog fight? I know you ain't playing. If I was you, I would play that last game, that CPU game, bro, just to play it. Get yourself tuned up for the playoffs. And pray that Madden God don't fuck you out of a playoff run. It's definitely between you and Bucks. I will be talking about that shortly. So Lamar Jackson with 194 touchdowns. So Lamar Jackson will finish with 200 rushing touchdowns before it's said and done. If he doesn't retire after being in the league for 15 years. That's big, dude. Lamar Jackson retire after this season, or does he stick around for the last run? The last dance, baby. 194. So Cliff Holiday's second on this list with 158. What's impressive about that is he's never really been a full-time starter in Kansas City. So for him to have 158 touchdowns, that's huge. It's a big situation. Running Roger Craig, 150. Running Roger Craig been a workhorse. I mean, this guy touched the ball 25 times a game. Over his 8-season career, I mean, 9 years in the league, 8 out of those 9 years, he's been 25 plus carries a game. So he's a workhorse. Bo Jackson, we talked about as a bust, but I guess Bo Jackson came on the scene after Nick Chubb won a Super Bowl with the Cowboys, and we got to see a running back that, Christian Okoye style running back. I mean, break tackles, stiff arms, truck people. So Bo Jackson came on the scene. He was the first to come out the draft, the model which Nick Chubb was about. So he kind of never lived up to that expectation we had when him drafted. But the numbers is there. Numbers don't lie. So 13,075 and 139 rushing touchdowns, which puts him fourth on the list. And then Adric Lockley, man. Adric Lockley got the hardware to go along with his numbers, which is huge, man. And I think we need to stop bullshitting and consider him as a Hall of Fame RDL back. 13,000, almost 14,000 yards rushing and 133 rushing touchdowns. With at least 3 out of the 6 Super Bowls they won. Now, he won 5 in this league. So three Super Bowls out of the 5 he won in this league. This kid was around. Chris James, I would say Bigavelli made this back very impressive. I remember when he drafted him 9-10 drafts ago. 131 touchdowns, that's big. Will Falk, 13 years, 129. Fred Teller, 120. And Puka in 5 seasons, 119 touchdowns. John Emery, another one, in 4 seasons, 104 touchdowns. Receptions in a career. Calvin Johnson second had a really long 12 years. Stepped away from Kansas City for about 2 seasons before he made his way back. Yo, what's up, what's up, Snake? What's up with you, big guy? I'll go back to the conversation, man. We talked about Bo Jackson being on this list in career rushes and touchdowns, man. I'll ask you, since you was the head coach for Bo Jackson, man. Did Bo Jackson live up to expectations, or do you think he underachieved, even though look at his numbers? And while we waiting for him to comment, we'll get back over here. All right, so for a long time, the best receivers in the league, in my opinion, before he retired, the kid retired. There was another receiver the Seahawks made famous over there, but which was Metcalf. But here we go. Calvin Johnson and Sheldon Ward, man. 2 very good wide receivers in this league. So Sheldon Ward, let's talk about him first. He was the receiver that made everybody start going to go get the 6'5" receivers. This kid was a bomb touchdown or a pass interference away from a touchdown, or a pass interference away from a catch, should I say. He had an explosive rookie year, man. I mean, you come into the league and you 51 catches, 2,224 yards, 28 touchdowns as a rookie, averaging 43.6 yards, and then 139 yards a game right now, man. That was huge. Big time season. But all he did was follow it up with numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like he almost met these numbers 5 seasons later, but he was so consistent throughout his career. 49 catches. I mean, this guy 29.2 yards a catch in this game, in this season. 19 touchdowns. He had 17, 18, 15, 21, and then again 2025 he had that season where the touchdown numbers was high, but he was averaging 52.3 yards a catch. That's serious. That's big time. And as you can see, as he got older, in his 13 seasons, he had another 20 touchdown season, I mean. And he just, and as of now, We got a new face over there with 6'8" at receiver. So his last 2 seasons, I mean, he's almost a 1,000-yard receiver again this year. I think before it's all said and done with 1 game left, 2 touchdowns and 170 yards, 127 yards is reachable for him to get 1,000 yards this season, to end another 1,000-yard season. So he's been a 1,000-yard receiver, double-digit touchdowns for the most part his entire career. Sheldon Ward, to me, is definitely a RDL first ballot Hall of Fame receiver, and he's the guy that everybody models. So there's no Calvin Johnson in the league without Sheldon Ward. Bo was a dog. Can't call him a bust when you most feared RB in the league and split carries with other running backs, quarterbacks, and wide receiver divisions. Team Jags went to the bowl. I mean, I agree with you. I think Bo Jackson had a quiet career. I think we expected so much out of him, and he gave us a solid career. I mean, he was consistent and he was steady with it, especially within your system. Once you went to the Oregon system, it changed the way he was. But when you lined up in I formation and power football, that people, he was still that guy. You right. I want to see something. Give me a second.
Yeah.
All right. So Sheldon Ward, man. Now Calvin Johnson. Without Sheldon Ward, there's no Calvin Johnson. And I say that and mean that when I say it. Without Sheldon Ward, we don't see a Jabari Pratt type receiver. We don't see Randy Moss. We don't see these guys. People wasn't looking at that 6'5" height and thought, oh man, let's get this dog. Wasn't really. There's only one guy in the league that we know for sure that like the tall receivers outside of this. But the moment Sheldon had the year he had, made everybody, not everybody, but for the most part, it made Coach Falk go get a 6'5" kid. He went and got Calvin, and he followed it up with these type of numbers. So in year 1, as a rookie, 86 catches, 2,216 yards, 32 touchdowns. The touchdown mark is no one's beaten that yet. He's had 32 touchdowns. He's in the record books with that. I mean, that's an outstanding rookie year. Complete outstanding rookie year. Now, my question would be, for those that I wish Boone was available, is this dick riding? Yo, do me a favor. You friends with Mark Nano?
Yep.
Send him an invite so I can bring him over.
All right.
But as a Chief, man, 63 catches. He's been a 2,000-yard receiver. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of his 12 seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of 12 seasons, this guy's been a 2,000-yard receiver 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the 12 seasons, he's been a 2,000-yard receiver and 1 1,900-yard receiver. But he's a double-digit touchdown machine. So 32 touchdowns, put him in the record books as a rookie. He followed his rookie campaign up with 30, which made him an all-star, which made him a superstar, which made him an X factor, which made him one of the top receivers to step in our league. Then he comes back with this season. This is when we started having that conversation. Well, is this kid better than Sheldon Ward at the time? And, you know, I fought a long time with Sheldon and Calvin, who was the best receiver, but this guy numbers was just there. And then his numbers was there when he had other receivers like Hardman and his role player receivers with 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns as well. So 23 touchdowns, and he follows that up with a 32 touchdown season again, another 22, another 28, 14. Then he goes away, 20, another 20. Then he goes away, and 2030 and 2031 it comes back in 28. So 16 touchdowns in 2029. Now, in 2030 and 2031, he was a 49er. He followed Patrick Mahomes to the 49ers. And this kid, now granted, one of these years he was hurt. Which year was it? The first or second season with him?
First year.
All right, so the first season he had better numbers with 6 touchdowns. But he fell all the way off. At this moment, I will be thinking that a receiver who's known for being a guy and unstoppable, he goes to his second team. And in those 2 seasons with the 49ers, he looked like a bag of dog shit. I would have been ready to retire, but then Mahomes decided to end his career with the team he started with, and he asked for Calvin to come along with him, and he did that. And this is all they're doing, showing that age doesn't matter. We aged with fine wine. 82 catches right now, 2,064, 28 touchdowns with 2 games left. I mean, with the game left now, he's playing a dog. So if Calvin can score 2 to 4 touchdowns, maybe at 28 with 1 game left. I don't know if we're talking about him breaking his own record. I doubt it, not with that defense over there for the Panthers. But 4 touchdowns, he can tie it if he can do that. So we should see. We'll see. 1 game left. That's asking for a lot for one receiver, especially against a top tier player like
He might be able to get like 100 or something and something and like 1 touchdown maybe. I don't know. Depends how the game goes as well.
The next receiver with stats and all that to be coming up. I mean, I'm talking about catches, I guess. We got guys that we really don't talk about, but these guys got to be spoken on. Denzel Washington for the Lions. Hollywood Lions over there had Denzel Washington shitting for a long time. He's been a travel man since the Lions had left and then came back. But yards, we'll stay with yards, not catches. So Jabari Pratt still playing in 9 seasons. This kid has 11,659 yards, 27.5 yard average, 74.3 yards a game, 160 touchdowns. That's huge. You got Bob Hayes. Randy Moss played for 2 teams, Jacksonville Jaguars, but he had a short career with the Jacksonville Jaguars. His first season as a rookie, he did not play much at all. 8 catches, 358 yards, 4 touchdowns. But as a sophomore campaign, he exploded. And when he came to a team that had, I'm on the headsets already. Oh shit, let me bring Mark over real fast. Give me a second, fellas. Hey, Marky. Can I allow one or more of the suggested players to join? Please try again. I'll do it myself. I don't know. They ain't let him over. He on Call of Duty. He already on headsets. He said, all right. So anyway, man, Randy Moss had a short career with the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. I think he played 3 seasons. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Jags. And one of his big years is 2025, 42 catches, 1383. I'm not sure if this was him. Yeah, this was my year. You got him in 26, right?
26, yeah.
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. So you had him for the most of his career. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years he played for the 49ers. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he didn't get to his rookie contract as always. As a Jaguars motto is, we don't gotta pay you when we got dogs that can play. That can play like you. All right, but he didn't fall off in my eyes. So again, his first year as a 49er, 950 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's definitely won receiver of the year in the NFC. He had 3 Pro Bowl appearances. He won best wide receiver in 29 and 27. So the kid has been balling. I don't see him as a Hall of Famer, but he's balled out. Yo, Pat. What's good, bro? Not on headset. We in week 17 on Jimbo up. Doing it. We in week 17. You and Jimbo up. We doing a real. I'm doing a real talk right now.
I'm about to hit him up too.
All right, I'm on a real talk right now. All right, back to it, man. So again, let's look at touchdowns right now, man. These guys are. Yo, bro. Huh? Am I on? Yeah, I'm doing a real talk. Huh? Alright, I sent you an invite. Yo, Mark. Alright, so look, Nano, go through Mark team with him, yo, and look at the team and look at the pieces over there and look at his money. Check all this shit out. Like, I need you to help me manage the team while I'm doing a real talk. Yeah, don't even. You know what, Mark? Let's just do this. Let's just do it. What about tomorrow? What's tomorrow looking like for you? All right, yeah. Go ahead, handle that for me, Nano.
All right.
Mute me, Nano, so you're not talking through my real talk. Mark, mute me real fast. I'll mute y'all. All right, bet. Here we go. All right, so touchdowns, man. Calvin with 255. Sheldon Ward with 193. With a season left, Sheldon will be a 200 touchdown receiver, going and adding to his Hall of Fame numbers. Jabari Pratt, 160. I can't see it, man. That's 40 touchdowns to get to 200. I can't see him doing that in one season, not with the way I play over here. But Bob Hayes, man, again, another player that Bigger Belly had made great, man. This kid, he played well. He was a quiet receiver, but he played well. He was the replacement for Metcalf when Metcalf left the Seahawks, and this was the next guy up. But we got tight end sitting here, and Kellen Winslow the third with 111 touchdowns. And Gianna Bryant, bro, and this is big, 107 yards. I think Gianna Bryant will be way better stat-wise if Jungle decided to keep this kid as his guy. But again, you know, Jungle can play with any fucking receiver he want. He'll get a receiver and make him all world for a year and move on to another one. He consistently kept Gianna Bryant around, and I'm grateful for that. I appreciate that he did that. But he slighted his numbers, but he still got big time numbers, 107 touchdowns in 7 to 8 seasons, which is hot. Chad Johnson, short career, 8 years, 9 years season, 99 touchdowns. He gonna reach 100. Hines Ward should reach 100, and Randy Moss will reach 100 before it's all said and done. Bo Rice as well. And then there's up 3 seasons in, Darnell Washington with 86 as a tight end, man. Outside of Kellen Winslow, man, this is the next tight end that's like all world. Tariq Black, he's been up and down in his career. Trey Money had a nice little presence as a 49er, but he's been a journeyman. So I really don't know what we're seeing out of this kid. On the defensive side of things, man, Mike Singletary for 709 tackles. Ray Lewis, 600. Ed Reed Jr. for Boone, 587. You got Urlacher, Deion Sanders, man. We got a bunch of great names in this league, man, that did their thing. So as you go tackle leaders, I will read the top 10 real fast. Mike Singletary, Patriots, that's on. Brian Urlacher for the Bears. Ray Lewis for the Chiefs. Peter Boulware for the Cardinals, ex-Jaguar. A lot of his seasons was with the Jaguars. Ed Reed Jr. for the Ravens, Coach Boone. Deion Sanders from Jaguars to the Dolphins, and I think he had a longer career as a Dolphin than he did as a Jaguar, but he balled out. Keanu Jones at safety. Asante Samuels Jr. Amari Sapp, picked up out of free agency, and Patrick Peterson the second, and Anthony Meeks, the linebacker for the Bucks. Tackles out this world. Yeah, of course, my favorite stat is tackles for loss. So Ray Lewis leads the entire league with 203. I mean, Ray Lewis is the best defensive player in the fucking league, period. And he's been that way from the moment he stepped into the league. And I mean, if there's anybody going to be named after a real-time legend, this guy had a career like the real-time legend had. So I mean, his numbers is just nuts. So as you can see, we saw 600 solo tackles, 979 total tackles, 203 tackles for loss, 89 and a half sacks, 119 interceptions. I mean, forced fumbles 9, recovered 4 of them, and 24 touchdowns as a defensive middle linebacker in the league. It's huge numbers. RDL Hall of Fame first ballot. Now, Anthony Meeks, man, we talk about linebackers and shit a lot, but you got a lot of guys that played well for them throughout their career, man. Anthony Meeks was one of them for the Bucks. Another guy that played well, I mean, he was a straight Tampa 2 type linebacker. As you can see, he didn't get to the quarterback much, but he did have 54 INTs in his career. Huge. Prince Zuko, that name, this guy been a linebacker, outside linebacker to defensive end as of right now. But 185 sacks, man, close to 200. I don't know if he can get to 200 with a season left. I mean, it's possible. You have a 20 sack season. It's possible. So we'll keep on alert to see if he can reach that 200. But Simeon Rice, man, 271 and a half sacks right now. So you got Simeon Rice with 271.5 and counting. Zuko with 185 and counting. And Amani Arrington, the other defensive end for the Chiefs, he left and came back with 174 and a half. And then D tackle Brian Gonzalez with 171, a pure D tackle with 171 sacks. Roy Mathis, he was a dog from the moment Bigavelli drafted him, 148. Julius Peppers played for the Panthers, again 138 and a half over here for the Dolphins. Elvis Dumerville over there with that Broncos front four that was just devastating people, 128. And then you got Tevin Stone, who used to be a Giant, 125 and a half. And as you can see, 121 and a half for Bukugo. And Clavion Chaseon in his short 6-7 year career, 110 and a half. It's big time. Artie Campbell was a dog from the moment he stepped on the field, 107 and 2 INTs on his career, but he got to the quarterback early and often, for real. And you get down here to Sean Price, Jaguar career, he almost two sacks away from 100. I would like to see him get that before it's all said and done. J.J. Watt Jr. with D. West was a beast. So we have some guys that's balling out, man. In the INT category, again, no one's even close to Ray Lewis, 119. Ed Reed Jr. with 80. Brian Phelps, man. I think we don't give Jungle enough credit at what he's done with his free safeties. Brian Phelps, man, in 11 seasons, 80 INTs, man. Deion Sanders, top corner with picks with 69. Dog, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Chad Jones II, 67. And you got Kobe Hampton. The Bucks had 2 safeties. One retired already, but he had 2 safeties with top interceptions and stuff. 57 with Ed Boone. Meeks, 54. Reggie Salas, 54. Pat P, 51. And counting. And for this guy to have a short career the way he's had in 5 seasons with 47 INTs, that's huge. Huge. For Amik Robertson, the Honey Badger 2, 47 INTs in his career. I want to look at forced fumbles as a total. So it's still Jimmy Voorhees with 50. Closest man to him, this is big, yo, 50 forced fumbles. Closest man to him is 21 behind, 29 with Franco. Chase Young comes in 6 and 7 seasons with 28. That's huge. Isaiah Simmons in 7 seasons, 24. Ronimus Logan, 21 and 11 seasons. Willie Wood Jr. at safety, 21 and 11 seasons. Simeon Rice Jr., 20 at the defensive end / D tackle. Cotrera the second, 20. Dalai Moses, 20 and 6 seasons. Prince Zuko. Hammer, we got some guys that make people fumble in this league, man. And the most touchdowns on defense, obviously Ray Lewis, 24. Anthony Meeks, that middle linebacker, the Tampa 2 guru, 15. And then Brian Phelps from the free safety, 13 returns. Amari Rodgers with 11 of them. And then you get back down here to Darian Vick, Deion Sanders, Isaiah Simmons, Paris Ford, another safety for the Saints. And then he came over to the Cowboys. Brent Barnes, linebacker. Ed Reed with 8. Reggie Salas with 8 as a corner. Chase Young with 7 as a defensive end, bro. That's a lot. Ed Boone and Kamari Kyle, a little short kid, 5'9", corner from Rutgers. 7 of them. So that's career stats. Let's get into the awards right now. With one week left. Only a couple of games before we get to these playoffs. So Patrick Mahomes, again, steps away for 2 seasons, comes back, and is sitting on top of this list with MVP. Now, I know we're not going to scream computer love with nobody because we got a lot of computer games, and it's your choice to play or not. Simple as that. So Patrick Mahomes sitting up here. You got Muhini McCargo trying to challenge for a second MVP in a row. Charlie Garner is again, Cliff Holiday, Jaden Daniels for the Eagles, Derek King, Emery Dillon, Witten, and young Naj Israel, who's only been a starter for 5 games, slid his way up into the MVP talk. You know, he'd never win it, but he slid his way up into it. Now, AFC Offensive Player of the Year, you got Chiefs, Mahomes, Holiday, Johnson, Jordan Whittington, again, names we always see. I love to see Zach Charbonnet sitting up here at 5 right now, man. Raiders running back is playing well this year, 10-5. Najee Israel, motherfucking baby hits out here dotting shit up right now and got his team 14 and he hasn't lost yet. But Lamar Jackson and Puka, Newman and Ibuka. NFC, McCargo, Garner, Daniels, Emery, Dillon. A.J. Dillon's been playing well. Derek King, Demetrius Davis might be the best quarterback I've seen in a while. I like this guy, man. The Saints doing a hell of a job with him as a quarterback. I would love to see what he would, if we had 8 more seasons left, what he would do. Justin Fields been playing well. Franks and this is computer love, but then Tag Tuivasa is still up there. Defensive players in the NFC, I'm sorry. Ambry Thomas, Khalid Kelly, computer love. Paris Ford, Jeremiah Trotter, computer love. Brendan Nelson, Packers. Greenyard for the Bucks. Xavier Smith, Jordan Birch, computer love. Adrian Brown, been up there for a while. And then Javelin Godry at corner. AFC style. Defensive Player of the Year, you got Ray Lewis, second, sitting there with 19 INTs. Of course, he's going to be in first. Nair Graham, CMD, Camden's finest, sitting up here. Dylon Moses, Fidel Diggs, Isaiah Simmons, Bishop Gorman, Elijah Ricks, man, having a great season, especially when people are not throwing at Derek Stingley. This guy has to step up because they throw at him. He got 11 picks on the year, so he's balling out. Willis McGinnis for the Patriots, Avante Williams, and Mel Blount. Offensive Rookie of the Year, AFC, Najee Israel, Khalid Brown, Miles Arterberry, the #1 running back that came out this draft, Anthony Bright, another good running back, Oscar Scatello, tight end, Amos, Malik Red, another running back, one of my kids, and Rodney Rainey, Nash Madison, David Monroe. NFC, sorry fellas. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Tion Pitts, the quarterback for the Redskins. Marquise Walls. Jack Jones, wide receiver for the 49ers. Jason Nelson, big time running back. Computer love though. Terrence Lewis. Jack Peterson. Eric Anthony, another quarterback. Andrew Dollar, tight end. Donovan Green, tight end. And Shaz Preston. Defensive rookies for the NFC. Jeremy Melvin. Ernest Cooper. Justin Lockhart, Burley, Sandridge, Braxton Burks, Lorenzo Burns. I have to look at these kids and see all their positions on defense, what they're doing right now. AFC, defensive player, Garrison McKinley, Marvin Jones, the 6'6" outside linebacker from Florida State, Raheem Joseph, the safety for the Chargers, Byers, computer, Vince Capers for the Ravens, Singletary for the Colts, Griffith, Alexander, Johnson, and Anthony Johnson. All right. Best quarterback in the AFC, Mahomes, Newman, Macon. Tyler Macon stepped up. Didn't play a whole season, but he stepped up and became that guy over there. And all he did was throw bombs away. And he made 6'8", really look like a good receiver over there. So shout out to him. Can't wait to see what he look like as a full-time starter next year. Burrow, Abbott. Now, since the Colts haven't had a coach this season, they started Burrow over Deion Sanders' son, and all he did was play into a one-win year. But he's up there, though. Abbott, Computer Love, Jalen Hurts balled out. Eric Pryor, Computer Love, Justin Herbert played, and Costello was a dog this year. NFC, De'Aaron King, Jaden Daniels, Eagles, Tag Tua Valoa, Demetrius Davis, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. These quarterbacks is fucking loaded over here. Felipe Franks, Computer Love, Tion Pitts, Jalen McCain, and Chase Nelborn all stepped up. Running backs, McCargo, Garner, Emery, Dillon, Hilaire, Najee Harris, Howard Joyner, Vernon House, Chris James, and Raymond Calais. AFC, Holiday, Whittington, Charbonnet, Puka Williams, Ahmad McCain, David Moore III, Ricky Pearson, Travion Henderson, and Jonathan Teller. Wide receivers, Calvin Johnson, Abuke. Amari Clark emerged this year. T. Higgins, Darren Jones, 6'8", emerged this year. And Scary Terry, Tamiron Terry, Florida State. Scary Terry stepped up this year, balled out. Keontae Lawrence left the Saints and been balling all ever since. Jalen Rieger, Jabari Pratt, and Drew Hill. D-line, Fidel Diggs, McGinnis, McClary, Simeon Rice, Young, Zuko, Anderson, Derek Alexander, and Andre Wadsworth. NFC defensive line, Khalib Kelly, Greenyard, Birch, Xavier Smith, Raekwon Davis, Nagata, Jack Lamb, Corey Foreman is a dog, Jeremy Melvin, and Miles Murphy. Linebackers, Nelson Trotter, Batten, Jennings, Chain Gang, Willie Gay, Huff, Bradley, Apopo, Pat Poe, and Werner. AFC linebackers, Ray Lewis, and then you got Jags, Graham, Jags, Dylon, Isaiah Simmons, Bishop Gorman, Jaleel McRae, Solomon, Tululu Pupu, and as you can see, we go down there to Mike Singletary and then Mel Blunt. NFC, let's look at these DBs over here, man. So, Ambry Thomas, he got like 12 INTs. Parrish Ford stepping, Godry stepping. Adrian Brown, another safety playing well. Patrick Surtain, I think he's going to line up against Ibuke, and the Calvin Johnson is going to get Tyson Campbell. Evan Smith, Ashley, Winfield, Pryor, and Vincent Jr. AFC Defensive Player of the Year. Elijah Ricks, Avante Williams, Isaac Teller Stewart, Vic Dean, Cyrus Fagan, J.R. Reed, Franks Foster, and Damani. All right, fellas, man, that's enough with the awards and all that. So let's talk about the standings and what's going on right now over here before we get up out of here, okay? AFC standings is locked. Chiefs number 1. I don't know unless Madden guys do some bullshit. If the Panthers beat the Chiefs, I doubt the Chiefs lose the number 1 seed throughout, so they'll have home field throughout. Let's Madden gods, because they beat me up, right? So let's Madden gods pull some bullshit, and the Chiefs lose to the Panthers. The Chiefs are sitting in first place. So Jaguars had a second bye. Patriots third team. They'll play the 6th seed, which will be the Steelers. And then you got the Ravens, Raiders, and Steelers. So right now, Chiefs 1, Jags 2, Patriots 3, Ravens 4, and then it's the Raiders 5, Steelers 6. So 3 will play 6, which is the Patriots. They'll play the Steelers, and then the Raiders and the Ravens will play in the playoffs. And now the NFC is a little tricky over here. It looks like the Eagles has won the division. Cowboys are in, but the Cowboys can't be anything but the 5th seed. We grade have a 14-1 team, worst case scenario 14-2 or 15-1 team as the 5th seed in the NFC. Can y'all believe that shit? So unless something changes in week 17 with these guys, and I think both of them got forced wins, so I doubt it. Panthers win the division. Panthers lose, then it's up to, I don't know, we're going to have to figure it out. But right now the Panthers and the Saints are fighting for the NFC South right now. Again, the only thing I'm certain of, if the Panthers win, they win the division. Bucks sitting at 11-4, and they just everything right now is left up to God, Madden gods. The 49ers are in. They will have the 3rd seed, and the 4th seed will be the Vikings when it's all said and done. So we'll have the Vikings as the 4th seed, Niners as the 3rd seed, and then you're either going to have the Eagles, Cowboys, or Panthers and Saints as the 1 and 2 seeds. All right, now, so again, this last week, week 17, a lot of the games are already set up, but here we go, watching live now. Jimbo, Miami RDL4 is locked in, so I'm assuming Falk is on and that they're locked into play. Let me send Falk an invite. Unless Jimbo didn't change the title of his broadcast, they should be playing right now. All right, so again, as we come back on for another Real Talk, we'll have the playoffs completely lined up and figure out who's who and who's doing what right now. Short week 17 because, again, we're only waiting on a few games to be played, and then we can get right to it. So playoffs, 9 out of 10 will either be they'll be played tomorrow, but they'll be scheduled for the night. AntHits, the franchise guru. Holla at me when you holla at me. Holla back.